So let us begin as we always do, everyone, by simply entering within through the breath. As we breathe, so gradually, as we enter more deeply into the body, we become much more sensitive to the flow of the divine that is moving through us, as we also remain in our I am presence. I am. And perhaps you experience through your third eye streams of light that move in. For your third eye, in different degrees for everyone, is opening, and you may find it affects your vision in your physical eyes. But let us just breathe. Enter into one's I am presence. Breathe into your heart and focus upon your third eye. In simple relaxation, in stillness, in simple allowance, as whatever may be perceived is able to enter through the third eye. It may be patterns or symbols or simply colours. But whatever you receive, whether in your awareness or not, trust that it is what you most need. You may find the colours that you may receive are all with brilliant white light. So we know there is nothing to do but to be in that softness which comes from being within the heart space. As the body relaxes more deeply, so does our own heart space. We breathe into the heart. As the body relaxes more deeply, tensions moving away, and we come into a place of greater calm within. As we let go more deeply, so we come closer to that feeling of bliss, the bliss that lies within the stillness, as the human self gradually gives way to the beauty of the higher realms, the higher frequencies of light. As we breathe into our hearts, as we soften into this light energy, we become more still, more blissful. And as we enter more deeply into this space, we find the interference from the ego self lessens. We no longer feel the pull of it when infused with higher dimensions of light. gradually we learn that it is not about conflict within, resistance within, but about learning to accept all that is, the ego self and the divine self, as the light of the divine shines upon the ego self, the lower frequencies and lower vibrations, which will not be healed or released by rejecting them, but by embracing them with divine love, kindness and compassion, which is our higher state of being. We learn to come into this higher place within, to exist more and more within the depths of our own heart, as we become more and more in acceptance of all that is, no longer resisting, no longer creating conflict within oneself. For it is not about fighting with oneself. This is a battle you can never win. It is about embracing the human self with divine love and compassion, whilst being present, to be in one's I am presence, to rest within the heart, to be in total acceptance of one's emotions, to learn how to view everything from the perspective of divine love. That higher frequency, that higher realm of existence, as we lift ourselves above the lower planes of the earthly realm, to embody both, to engage in both. This is where your freedom lies. And it can arrive through love of self. For in the fifth dimension, there is no judgment. Everything simply is as it is. To be in full acceptance of what is. And this is where we enter into divine grace. Where self-love can enter. We free ourselves from our own inner conflict and find peace within. Everything is of a purpose. And as we come more into the higher frequencies of oneself, eventually we come to the point where we see the divine plan that has been laid out before us. Why we encountered certain things. Why our experiences brought light not only this life, but ancestral lives and ancient times. For all is coming together in the wider aspect of who we are. And so we experience all that we have carried with us through many, many lives. And as we rest in our heart space, allowing the divine to move through us, the frequencies of light and love transmute and transform. The Arcturians now are working with us to help us to integrate and balance these very high frequencies that are now available to us. It is the nervous system which has to receive these energies and needs rebalancing, realigning to be able to adjust to these new frequencies. So let us spend some moments now in deep relaxation within the body, in simple allowance, as our nervous system receives an upgrade, for we become much more sensitive as we move into higher light. And for some, it is overwhelming. So the Arcturians and the Pleiadians make adjustments within each of us that we can transition more smoothly into a higher vibration. Perhaps you feel a numbness, a tingling, a pressure. Simply allow, relax more deeply, breathe consciously, and allow adjustments to take place. You may find this takes place over days, but you will benefit greatly as the frequencies continue to rise by allowing and requesting this process of integration. Often, that you may stay in balance within and constantly be realigned, recalibrated to the increasing energies. We all know of the importance of grounding. Allow the energies to flow through you into your pelvic area, your foundation, through your lower body and the soles of your feet, to your Earth Star chakra below, and feel yourself grounding into the earth. So important to hold this grounding throughout your day. It also connects you to Gaia, to nature, and a greater feeling of oneness with all life. Know that your trials are for a purpose. Accept them with grace, and you will move through them more easily. As we enter more deeply together into this meditation, you feel the beings around you. Your awareness expands. It's not physical, of course, but you feel it. Angels and archangels, star beings and ascended masters, native energies, all working with you in different ways that you may come into balance, alignment, as your nervous system adjusts. For you are learning to be in 2 dimensions simultaneously. So the physical body is programmed for ascension. It knows what to do, how to do it. But we need to take care of the body to ensure that it does not become overloaded. As we become more sensitive, to be present in your I am presence throughout the day, to breathe consciously is all that is needed. For your I am light of soul is descending more and more each day. And all is being realigned, recalibrated, and that which needs to be is being released. Let's rest in this experience together for a few moments more. I am. So we ask for this realignment to continue throughout the day, throughout the night. As we come back to our physical awareness, wherever we are, being fully grounded within our space. The higher realms, our higher self, always with us, watching over us as we make our own choices throughout our day. They do not interfere, but their love is always with us, for us to open to receive. And then we find as we receive their love that we are also love. Love is who we are. Beyond the ego self, beyond judgment. And we are open and willing to embrace our truth. And all is within. And we find that space within where all exists. The Christ within is ready to blossom. So begin to open your eyes now to experience your presence in this earthly realm. And perhaps you feel your galactic presence as your consciousness opens wider and wider.